Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Talk show host says no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So guys, what I'm about to play you here is a quick clip of a show called The Karamo Show. And in this particular episode, the host, who I've never really heard about before, Karamo, brings on two friends, right? They used to be friends, a woman and a man. And the guy got involved in content creation. And part of what he talks about is basically talking about how all body positivity is pretty much pointless. His friend is a female and she happened to be a plus size model. And so that definitely affected their relationship. They had beef and it broke up their friendship. And on this show, he brings those two friends together to basically discuss the issue, and he titles the video, "Plus Size Model Confronts Her Troll," right? That's what I'm about to play you. That's the context of the situation. And this was at the height/most heated moment of that episode. Let's get it.
You give your daughter honey buns in the morning? Is that body positivity? Just be fat?
Body positivity is not about that. Body positivity is loving yourself where you are in life. And what you do not like about yourself, you
No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. Well, I'm going to cut this real quick. Because what I want y'all to know, and I want everyone at home to know this as well, no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this conversation right now. So I want every woman at home to understand this. There will be men in your life that are ignorant, that want to tell you that who you are is not enough. And let myself, let Chantel, and let my family here in the audience be the first to tell you your body is perfectly designed as is. You keep loving who you are, and if you can't find that love in yourself, there are people like us that want to reach out to you and send you that.
All right, so you guys heard the talk show host. He basically cut off the conversation and said, hold on, we're not going to talk bad about women's bodies. And he said, I quote, no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body. And something very interesting was said there by the woman, right? The plus size model. She said body positivity is about loving yourself where you're at in that point in time in your life. And her ex-friend there who's pushing back said it's not about that. It actually seems like it's more about being lazy and not taking accountability for being overweight. Saying no woman should ever have to debate a man over her body is a very strong statement. Basically saying it should never be negotiable. And he didn't specify this to whether a woman's in a relationship with the man. He just basically just gave a blanket statement, right? Whether you're in a relationship with the man, you shouldn't debate with your man about your body. Be whatever size you are, no matter how unhealthy it may be. Love yourself and don't try to better yourself for your man. So of course, man, we can already see that this guy is coming from a very pandering point of view. You already know everything you need to know about this guy's show, what it's about, nothing to see there. You know everything. But of course, women all over praised this man for what he said. And that clip was just circulating and going viral all over because all the women were, oh my gosh, how beautiful. I love it. Yeah, shut him down. For example, this commenter who said, I love you even more for this. 2K plus likes. Another commenter says, shut it down. She's like, hell no, we're not going to be drinking coffee in here. Another woman added, period. Check him on national television, which is followed by a comment from this woman who agreed and said, yes, stop commenting on our bodies. Just let us be. But wait, some women disagreed, right? Like this woman who said, body positivity is working on your body to be healthy, not overly obese nor overly malnourished, period. I hope people learn that staying at a certain shape, especially if it's unhealthy, is not body positivity. So it's chicks like, wait, it's not about loving yourself no matter where you're at. It's about working on your body. And this makes sense to me. There's a large majority of women out here, no pun intended, who don't want to take accountability for anything. One of those things being their weight. The question is, can you love yourself if you are literally killing yourself? If you're literally killing yourself with the food that you eat, can we label that as positive? Or does that start to become delusion? What's the difference between somebody who's taking certain drugs that may be harming them and them convincing themselves that, hey, I'm just going to be positive with whatever state I'm in. You know, I'm affecting my family, my kids. Women who are unhealthy are more likely to have unhealthy kids with weight. Can we label that as positive? A woman agreed with the male host here and said, thank you for cutting that because the last thing we need is more of that conversation. She's like, the last thing we need is more accountability. She doesn't want that. We've got another woman here who's like, wait, I don't know if I agree with this. She says literally every girl who's excited about this is literally overweight. She's like, the women who are cheering are most typically overweight. They're fat. She goes on to say, let's not act like that's not a problem in the States. Being fat isn't sexy, and if you're 200 pounds, it's not healthy no matter what y'all say. Instead of uplifting women for their horrible decisions with food, why not be honest and have women take accountability for how they look? With the laughing emoji. And please don't tell me y'all are happy with being fat, because Lizzo ain't, and she wanna scream body positivity, yet cries on live about how big she is and how she hates her body. You women need to get real. Wow, that's facts. That's very much facts. And she brought up Lizzo, so we're gonna talk about her. Not yet, but there's something here I have to point out that's very obviously agenda driven about the way that they set up this whole talk show and episode. Another person responded to that chick and said body positivity was literally initiated to support visibly disabled people, people of marginalized races, trans people, etc. Fat people are also a part of the movement, but just get all of the voice now. Your understanding of body positivity is way off. Disability can cause obesity and being overweight in general, as well as preventing people from losing weight. Educate yourself. So, this is true, right? Entitled women who are driven by a gynocentric system, society will always overshadow anybody else's plight. Body positivity was originally meant for people who are disabled until fat women started screaming, unfair, love me regardless of how I look. Now they are the focus because it's popular to push female agenda over any other agenda. Next comment here reads, the brainwashing is the problem, making a bunch of cat ladies. That's facts. Another gentleman says, I agree, if a woman wants to be fat and sloppy, that is her right to do so. I understand. Now, guys, I want to point out something here that I thought was pretty ridiculous that the show did when presenting this situation. First off, they brought one of the better looking plus models that they could find. And I mean, we're strictly talking about just body here, just the body itself. I know most guys probably wouldn't want a woman who's this thick, right? But at the end of the day, when people think of body positivity and women who abuse that phrase, they're not thinking of this body type. Look at this chick, first of all. Look at her shape, look at her stomach. It's not hanging out. Maybe she's wearing some type of waist trainer thing, but this is who they're gonna showcase who represents women who are obese, right? Who represents women who are grossly overweight. And I think this is on purpose. But you're not going to fool anybody because we know most women don't look like this. I would venture to say there are guys out here who look at a chick like this, and I'm talking about body here, just the body, and they would say, I have no problem with this body. Men who are into thicker women, who've got that Aubrey taste in women. I like my girls BBW. This is what I think Drake talks about when he says that, if you look at the women he's with. But there are guys out here who'd be cool with this. Tight in the right areas. I'm talking about body here. Take away modern woman mindset, etc. Some guys would be like, cool. But we all know this is not how women who are out here campaigning for body positivity really look like. They look more like this. Lizzo here at a balcony. More pictures of Lizzo. I mean, she is the avatar of body positivity, whether she likes that or not. She's become that because she pushes it the most. Now, I'm not a medical professional, and I think there's multiple reasons people don't want to encourage people being overweight. One of them is probably because people who are obese are more prone to diseases and illnesses. And I'm sure a doctor may say, oh yeah, both of these women are overweight. Cool, right? But if we're talking about just visually, we know that the majority of women who go around claiming body positivity, they look more like the Lizzo type. Let's just keep it real. That's just what it is. That's the truth. I get it. Some guys out there like slender women. But what I'm trying to point out here is they put a woman here who does not represent the majority of women who are out here screaming body positivity. I mean, shit, they might as well gone ahead and used that art school teacher who was going viral there because of her figure and shape and been like, oh, look, this is what men are complaining about. No, that's not what they're complaining about. You know exactly what they're complaining about. It's not women who look like they are keeping it together. It's women who are sloppy and are upset that men have a problem with that. I made a video recently. If you haven't watched it, you should go check it out. But it talked about the responses that fat men and fat women kind of trigger in the opposite sex's brain. So when a woman sees a fat man, she basically doesn't process him as a man at all. He doesn't exist to her. She disqualifies him immediately. The brain has no response. It's like you don't exist. So if you're fat, you know what to do. Go lose weight. That's probably why most fat guys have a hard time attracting chicks, because to a woman, you don't exist. Regardless of how much they want to push the body positivity thing, there's no body positivity for men. You just don't exist. But what's interesting is how the men react to obese, very, very, very overweight women. They actually get annoyed. It triggers annoyance. It's a really interesting study. Go check out the video. I actually published it a couple of days ago. I'll probably put it at the end of this one. Listen, as much as people want to say body positivity is about being okay and loving your body at the stage that it's at every step of the way, that's not what we know it to be in practice. In practice, it's women who don't think they have to do anything to change. They're eating and drinking everything but coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
And saying, love me how I am. There's nothing positive about that, right? It's a privilege to not be accountable. And that would just never change. The same way that women will not love a man who's broke, who's incompetent, is the same way men, in most cases, will look at a woman who's obese and think, no thank you for a serious relationship. Now, will they bust their cheeks? Probably, man. They probably will. But take you seriously for a relationship? Nah. I know the truth is bitter and doesn't go down easy. As always, guys, curious to know what you guys think of this whole situation. Comment down below. I appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pod, man. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.